Well, folks, Andres the writer here, and today I'm going to try to explain what an ambiguous pronoun is and how to fix it. Um, but first, if you'd like, please like and subscribe below. That would be great. And I'm going to cue the intro now, maybe if I edit this, and it'll come here, and it'll be about 30 seconds. So if you need to fast forward, you can just go right ahead. Otherwise, sing along because it is everyone's favorite song.
He's writing his novel on trains. The writer, follow along with him on YouTube.
All right, now if I did cue that thing, we're coming back. So Andres the writer here, and I'm just trying to help all you young writers out, trying to help you learn from all of my mistakes and teach you some grammar in the process and how to become a skilled writer. So I have a client whose novel I'm editing, and by the way, this is a bit of an experiment, so if the quality is bad here, it's because I'm using this fancy program where I have multiple cameras and I'm recording my screen, but I'm still learning how to use all of this. But so anyway, so I'm editing a client's book. It is a memoir. And I thought it might be interesting for you writers out there to see the process of editing. So I will flip to that in a second. Let me just figure that out here. And there we go, like magic. And to catch you guys up to speed, this book is a memoir. The author grew up in Argentina. He was born and raised there. And he talks about his vacations, and he kind of uses these vacations as a jumping off point to go into more memories, to describe the family. And it's quite beautiful and poignant. Reminds me a bit of Proust. For those of you who don't know, he's a famous French writer who talks about his childhood growing up in rural France. And little things spark these kind of big memories, and he goes deeper and deeper into his memories. So I'm reminded of that. And now I'm in the process of editing this book, of checking the copy, as it were. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll do a live editing, and I notice a problem, though, so we'll get to that right now. So they were just in a small town. They were horseback riding. And now they are heading, I believe, to their grandparents. So I'll start here. The plan was to go visit my grandparents for 2 weeks after this vacation. Oh, so you guys know, I'm in Google Docs. The author can see what I'm doing. He's agreed to let me do this. But I'm going to go ahead and I just put that in suggestion mode, which is right here, so they can see what I'm doing and they can go back and look at my edits and accept or reject them. So the plan was to go visit my grandparents for 2 weeks after this vacation ended. Probably the only time that we had such a long vacation. So my mother had asked me to save my new yellow swimsuit for the beach. Okay. She had the compelling argument that it was going to get stained green. Okay, now here's the problem. This it's an ambiguous pronoun. Ambiguous meaning unclear. Pronoun meaning one of those small words, he, she, it, you, in place of a name, in place of a noun. Pro meaning for, so it's in place of the noun. It's going for the noun. But the thing is that pronouns refer to their antecedents. The antecedent is a noun that immediately preceded it. So here the antecedent is beach. So she had the compelling argument that it, meaning in this case the beach, was going to get stained. Now obviously that's not what he meant, so we're going to go ahead and fix that. She had the compelling argument that the swimsuit was going to get stained green. Let's see if that works. There we go. Of course it goes slower when I start recording. C'est la vie. She had the compelling argument that the swimsuit was going to get stained green when sitting in the grass. Okay, so there's a couple of issues here. First of all, it makes it sound like the swimsuit is sitting in the grass. Obviously, he doesn't mean that. Second of all, she doesn't necessarily know that he's going to be sitting in the grass. It's more, I think what she's really saying is if he sat in the grass, it would get stained green. So she had the compelling argument that the swimsuit was going to get stained green. So we can say, if I sat in the grass, oops, because this is the author speaking here. If I sat on the grass, hopefully that'll show up, and I put in an extra preposition there by accident. Let's delete that. It was going to get stained green if I sat on the grass, but I liked it so much. Again, we have another ambiguous pronoun, same ambiguous pronoun, it. And here, as you may have guessed, it is referring to the antecedent grass. So I got to change it. But I liked the swimsuit so much that I finally convinced her to let me wear it. Now in this case, this it is fine because we know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about the swimsuit that came before. But I like the swimsuit so much that I finally convinced her to let me wear it. And as she predicted, I slipped on the grass close to the water and fell on my butt, staining the swimsuit green. Now I'll go ahead and put a comma because this clause coming after it, staining the swimsuit green, it's just giving us a little extra information. And whenever we give extra information, we can surround it with commas in general. No matter how much my mother tried to get it off, okay, again, if there's any doubt, we should just replace the pronoun with what we're talking about. So, oh, and if we go back here, we have here staining the swimsuit green. Now, sometimes I'm not sure of a spelling, even though I'm an editor. So I just go to Google, type it in real quick as one word or two. Here it's coming up everywhere as one word, so I know it's one word. Normally I'll also have a dictionary open, and if I need to check it there, I can. And I would suggest that if you are editing, just choose one dictionary, let's say Webster's, or if you'd like, dictionary.com, and just use that consistently. So, where were we? No matter how much my mother tried to get it off. Okay, so now here, I thought it was talking about the swimsuit, but he's actually talking about the stain. So here again, we have the same ambiguous pronoun. I'm going to replace it. No matter how much my mother tried to get this stain out. And now the author is not a native speaker, so sometimes we have some idiosyncrasies, some different turns of phrase from which we're used to, which is fine. We just change them as they come to us. But I've noticed now, having worked with a few non-native authors, that prepositions are particularly difficult. That often we know it's right just by sound. And for those of you who don't know, a preposition is just, you can think of it like a small word that links two nouns. So for example, the plug is on the book. On is our preposition, it links our nouns. Sorry if you knew that already. Anyway, no matter how much my mother tried to get the stain out, the stain never came. Oh, so now here we just needed to reverse that order. So instead of putting it first, we put our noun first, then we put the pronoun to get the stain out. It never came out. Okay. Now I'm editing mostly according to the Chicago Manual of Style. There are other manuals out there. It's just the one that I've sort of cut my teeth on, grown up on. And in CMS, we put a space before our ellipsis, those three dots, our ellipses, and a space after. No matter how much my mother tried to get the stain out, it never came out. It happened in the same place where I didn't stand up for Leah. Okay. So now here, this is actually quite ambiguous. I don't know what this it is referring to. Is he talking about the stain? Is he talking about the swimsuit? Is he talking about falling? From context, I believe it's falling, but it's unclear for no real reason that I can detect. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave him a comment. What does it refer to? And if I'm clear, I'll normally just leave a suggestion, but in this case, I'm not positive that I have the right read, even though I'm pretty sure, so I'll leave that up to him. And Google Docs is pretty great because we can just go back and forth on the same document. So it happened in the same place where I didn't stand up for little. Okay. So I'll go ahead and stop there. Let me show you a couple more fancy angles. Look at that. Look at that. But anyway, if this was helpful, please like and subscribe. In the comments, let me know if you caught anything in that novel that I didn't, any mistakes in that paragraph. Also, if there's any grammar topic you would like me to go over, please go ahead and leave that in the comment, and I will do so. But thanks, and I'll continue going with this if people find it helpful. So please let me know. You can just let me know in the comments, and by subscribing. That lets me know too. All right, thanks, and I'll see you all soon.